Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the morning scan for November 23rd, 2018. I took the majority of yesterday off because there wasn't much volatility yesterday. There was a holiday in the US, so that usually means that the volatility will be a little bit lower than usual. So I did take the day off yesterday, but we were in an Ethereum short from I think 133, 133, and all of our take profits hit. We've moved our stop loss down to take profit 1, so overall that was a great trade. So let's get to the charts and kind of get caught up here, just because I missed basically a day of price action. Of course, I was still looking at the price and stuff, but I wasn't actively scalping or anything like that. But I wanted to, kind of catch up and make sure everyone's on the same page. And we are in our Ripple short. That is finally starting to move here. We just missed take profit 1 by like 30 sats, I think, 35 sats. But yeah, we should be hitting take profit 1 at some point. I mean, it still looks like we'll break down here with the rounded top and eventually hit the rest of our take profits, which is nice. And before I continue, I just want to mention that we did move into the new Discord. If you have not received your invite link, please upvote the post in the members entry section in the old Discord. Okay, anyway, so it looks like our Ripple short is doing well. I'm happy that finally started to get moving. That is nice. But Bitcoin, let's take a look here. And how did the daily close? Is this my daily chart? Yikes. So the daily close below, I forget what this is. Is this a daily order block? Yeah, it looks like it. Okay, so it closed below the daily order block. Okay, with, what's the sell volume? The sell volume isn't too crazy, but yesterday did have low volume overall. So that's not too telling. I do like shorts at 63.80. Where is 63.80 on here? Is it right here? So that's a beautiful support and resistance flip. Took out stops above here, but stops really haven't been building up because there's not too much price action here. Our daily open is now acting as resistance, so I was thinking about taking possibly a short scalp to the range low, which is about 1.7%, which really wouldn't be too bad. But honestly, the risk to reward for shorts isn't really that good for intraday, at least, because I mean, where are you going to short to? Right? For a few days now, we've been shorting like 5% areas, but okay, we short 1.7%, then what? Then these wicks? Okay, 3.3%, but then what would we be risking? If we put a stop above there, we'd be risking 3%. So I don't know. Let's look on the 15-minute. Maybe we'll get a better idea of what the heck is going on. So this doesn't look too bad, actually. I mean, just looking at the volume, look at that increase of volume here. This sell volume is brutal. And then the buy volume preceding really isn't too crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see the risk to reward for shorts right now. I don't think it would be in our best interest to short, but I could be wrong if there's more price action. I don't know, maybe I'll take that 1.7%, but we'll see. Where would I like to short though? Probably, let's look on the 15-minute to get better entries here. Probably right here. That would be perfect. Yep, that's where I'm looking to short. Almost for sure. I think that would be a perfect short entry because look how long it acted as resist or support, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times it acted as support. So now we're going to go into that trade assuming that that will be a very tough resistance. I mean, look, it nearly tested it once and look at that rejection. So that is a definite short for me. I like that. Let's see on the 1 hour. Yeah, see, so if we were just looking on the 1 hour, you can't really tell. I mean, obviously you can tell it was support, but on the 15-minute, if you break it down, you can see, I mean, way more clear that that is definitely an area of support. So perfect. I will almost 100% be shorting that if I get the opportunity to for a much larger percent. So let's say, just hypothetically, if we did take this short, I would ideally want my stop to be above here. What would that be? 2%. That's a little wide for what I usually use. I mean, I'll just have to make up for position size then, because that honestly is the safest stop loss. And then what would we target? Like, here would of course be the take profit 1, the daily open. That's 2.6%. Range low, 4.3. And then these wicks, these equal lows here, 7.7. I mean, that is perfect. That's what I'm looking for. That's the entry I want. Not sure if I'll get it because this doesn't look too good. But ideally, that's what I would like to take. Let's look at Ethereum now, because I did post a chart. Oops, wrong Discord. Right here, saying that there's an easy short coming up, which there is if price can get up to that high. But Ethereum looks pretty bad. We see this rounded top, which for Ethereum lately, those rounded tops have been very telling. I don't want to waste time and go back and find a few, but I mean, here's one actually. Like the rounded top. Here's another one. Rounded top. Now we have one here. So Ethereum looks really bad. And I say that because I put more details in here, but essentially we see Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin took out these lows, started pumping through the range low, but then Ethereum is still stuck below these equal lows. Remember, we had our equal lows here, 122.30. So we took out the stops, got an okay buyback, briefly traded above the equal lows, and then just dumped straight through it, which is a very bad sign. I think, and if we also look at the sell volume compared to the buy volume, that voice crack, that early morning voice crack, but the buy volume, the buy volume compared to the sell volume, it's just pathetic. So I think Ethereum looks a lot worse than Bitcoin. I think Ethereum is really in trouble here, because let me explain this better. So what hour was this? 9. Okay. So we know from trading Ethereum for a while now that price is very, very similar for Ethereum and Bitcoin, like price movements, right? Price action. So if we take this candle here, this hourly candle, as disgusting as it is, it's still moved up, I don't know, 1.5%. But if we go to the same time on Ethereum, it only moved up 1.2%, which really doesn't seem like that big of a deal. But if you look at the price action preceding that candle, it just looks really, really bad. But I don't want to short the retest of the equal lows, which would be right here and then down, because I don't think that's giving it enough room. Because as you can see, there's liquidity up here because of the somewhat equal highs. They're not 100% equal highs, but all of these wicks, you can assume that someone shorting is going to put their stop loss above the highest wick or above this wick. So there's going to be liquidity here. So the easiest short, the no-brainer short, would be wait for it to break above this area of liquidity and then short the bearish retest of the old range low, which is 128.10. I think that's an extremely simple short. Will we get it? Not entirely sure, but I am still holding around 20% of my initial position from our position yesterday, so I'm just letting the rest ride. I still have my short from 209 and my short from 178.6, I think. So I am very comfortable in my Ethereum shorts. And I think that's everything I want to talk about. I think it's pretty imminent that we will see a test below 4K. I mean, I don't see how we couldn't. And just on the daily chart, I mean, it's very simple. We're going to be, of course, we're going to be shorting bounces because it's very easy in this bear market. But I am going to be cautiously bullish when a daily closes above 46.25. as long as these dailies keep closing below 43.44, I think it just, with time, we'll be seeing a test below 4K. I want to mark this level out too. What the? $3.6 and 3.9, yeah. And yeah, the price is scary, but I mean, I'm just trading the charts. I don't really care about the price, to be honest. The price right now, at least. But yeah, 3.6, that looks like a decent area to me. And I think that's everything. I think I'm caught up. I think we are all caught up. Ethereum looks like death. I will be getting $95 Ethereum, I'm telling you. I will get it. I'm determined to close my shorts around there. But yeah, I don't want to waste any more time in this video of just nonsense. I think that's everything I wanted to cover. Ripple's doing great. Ethereum's doing great. Bitcoin is kind of in a weird spot. But I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, as always, please feel free to ask.